Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy.
This is not surprising at all. This is the new college football. Players that are this high profile don't play in bowl games that are this low profile. In fact, if you're not in the playoff, most teams aren't playing without some of their higher profile players. I would point to Ohio State, which had a one-loss season, is playing in a New Year's Six bowl game, and their quarterback already goes to Syracuse. So that's just the way that it is, and I don't think anybody around Baton Rouge had much optimism that Jayden would play. I will tell you this. As of a week ago, I heard that Jayden really wanted to play. And the thought was he wants to play, but I just think there are going to be too many voices saying, hey, let's just not. And ultimately, I think that's what happened. Jayden's got a real bond with this offensive line. He's got a real bond with Malik Neighbors, who's got a record that he's 21 yards away from. And I think he would like to go out there with those guys one more time, but he's not going to because it's probably the smart decision. I think that most of the people that watch college football, pay attention to college football, have a team in college football, understand this decision and probably agree with it. And I think there's absolutely a faction that would believe that you signed up for a team, your team has one more game, you got to go out there and play with your team. Nobody's right or wrong here, but the fact of the matter is that Jayden's not going to play in this game. And I'll be very honest. I would have been thrilled to watch Jayden Daniels go up there and slice up Wisconsin like a block of cheese. Like, it would have been fantastic to watch him play football for LSU again, because it has been an absolute delight to watch him play football at LSU for the last 3 months. It's been fantastic. He's a legend. But for me personally, as I just talk about this from my perspective, I'd rather probably see Nussmeier play. Let's see what he's got. Garrett Nussmeier's performance coming up on January 1st does not indicate every snap that's going to happen next football season. If he's awesome, it doesn't mean he's going to be awesome. If he plays very poorly, it doesn't mean he stinks. But it is an opportunity for him to go out there with a very good offensive line and play the position that LSU is going to likely ask him to play next year against USC. And while Garrett Nussmeier has been here for a long time, and he's played in 17 games and thrown 98 passes at LSU, it's not like we've seen him a ton. He got to go out there in the Arkansas game as a freshman in 2021, and then we saw him last year in a few games. Obviously, he had to come in the SEC championship game under some pretty adverse situations. They put him out there in the bowl game against Purdue and had a plan to go back and forth between the two quarterbacks. We saw him this year have to come in a really tough spot against Alabama where they knew he had to throw because you were down a couple of scores and he wasn't the guy. It was Jayden's team. And so we've seen him, but not a ton over those 3 years. And we'll get a nice look at Garrett Nussmeier in this game. So to me, it's kind of the end of one era and potentially the dawn of another. The sunset of the Jayden Daniels era was in New York City. And like I said, he's immortalized in this program. They'll have one of his Heismans in there. He'll likely get a statue, and maybe his number gets put on the upper deck. And we'll always remember Jayden as one of the greatest players and one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen at LSU. And me personally, having grown up an LSU fan, I saw LSU win 2 national championships and play for another one before I saw a Heisman Trophy here. And then all of a sudden, you see Joe's, and then bang, 4 years later, Jayden Daniels shows up and wins another one, and he absolutely earned it. And that was phenomenal. But you turn the page, and now you look to try to find the next championship season, because this wasn't one. Is Garrett Nussmeier the guy to do that? Well, we don't find out on January the 1st, but it makes it more interesting to me. The game, quite frankly, not very interesting with Jayden Daniels against Wisconsin. Wisconsin stinks. They lost to Northwestern. They lost to Indiana, their bad team. I can't name one player on the team, not one. I can look at their schedule and tell you they're not good. And if Jayden Daniels would go out there with this offense, LSU, as they do on everybody, would score 40, and Wisconsin wouldn't score 40. LSU would win this game easily with Jayden Daniels. That's not super interesting. Delight to watch the man play. He's fantastic. Game wouldn't have been very interesting. With Garrett Nussmeier playing, okay, you got my interest peaked. I'm catching some heat for those that say, oh, Hunt said he didn't even care if LSU wins or loses. Well, that's watering down what I said. It ultimately was true. Because I'll tell you right now, if I'm watching this game, I would rather Garrett Nussmeier throw for 360 yards and 4 touchdowns and LSU lose 48-45, a loss. I would rather see that. I already know the defense is bad. If Garrett Nussmeier goes out there and plays great, well, that's new information that I like. I would really not like LSU to go out there against a bad Wisconsin team, run a kickoff back for a touchdown, get a scoop and score. Nussmeier throws 3 picks, and you win 30-20. I would rather Nussmeier look good than LSU win the ReliaQuest Bowl. That's how I'm wired. And now we'll get that opportunity to watch. And I think it's a really good spot for Garrett. We don't know what Brian Thomas is going to do. We think we know what Malik Neighbors is going to do. I think he's going to go out there and get 21 yards and stop. That's what I think. I don't think Brian Thomas will play. Maybe they do. But you've got a good offensive line that is going to play. And you've got talent at receiver, even if it's the younger guys. I think it's a good opportunity against what's probably a pretty average defense for Garrett Nussmeier to go out there and play a full game. And the last time he played a full game was really probably Arkansas 2 years ago. I know he didn't start that game, but he came in after the first series and basically went the rest of the way. It was Max, and then Nuss kind of took over, and then they went back to Max. And he's played in some mop-up duty outside of that. But that was really the only time he's gotten a full game. That was 2 years ago. The offense will have to look different. He can't run like Jayden does. He's got a good arm. He's going to use that. We know he was turnover prone early in his career. Maybe try to take care of the football. But we got a week and a half to get into what this game looks like and what the LSU offense looks like. But he gets 2 weeks to practice, getting all the reps, which he hasn't really gotten all year. And then it's a dress rehearsal for next year. That's what this is. There was a time in my childhood where this was the end of the season and you were getting somebody's best shot. And a lot of people were traveling to the game, and it was a big deal. That day's not really here anymore. But it is a dress rehearsal, and you'll likely see LSU starting quarterback for next year in it. Because Jayden Daniels' time in a uniform at LSU has come to a close. It was a really nice video that Jayden put together, called himself the California Bayou Kid, California, Louisiana Kid. Said that this is home, and you'll be seeing a lot of him. And there's a lot of really nice things he said in the video. But obviously the big thing you take away is that Jayden's time playing for LSU is done. Time for Garrett Nussmeier to go out there and play against Wisconsin in the ReliaQuest Bowl. And I'm personally pretty excited to check that out.
Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.